Hello, my name is Rossella and today I'm going to do chapter 1 in this book. If you haven't done it yet, subscribe to my channel by clicking the red button there and you won't miss a video anymore. You can also follow me on Facebook, Theory Virtuoso, and Instagram, Theory Virtuoso. The links are in the description below, where you can revise your knowledge, know lots of useful tips and tricks, and know when and what I'm going to publish next. Remember, there is also a website that you can visit, theoryvirtuoso.com, where you can see all the videos that I publish. There are music theory videos to help you learn or revise your knowledge, tutorials on discovering music theory, past exam papers in the new format, the online format, piano tutorials to help you boost your confidence when you play the piano, and quizzes so you can test your knowledge and see if you need a revision. Thank you for sharing and liking these videos. Tell your friends about it so they can also become theory virtuosi. Ciao! The first chapter relates to rhythm. So it's about simple and compound time, time signature, grouping, and irregular groups of notes. Let's have a look at the compound times. The first exercise asks us to check whether the second example is exactly the copy of the rhythm of the first bar rewritten in compound time. So, in other words, the rhythm of the two bars is the same, but they are written in a different way. To answer this correctly, we need to remember one thing. In the simple time, we have two subdivisions. This means that every time we count, so in each count, we can add a and. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay? Just to remember the two subdivisions. In a compound time, the subdivisions are 3. This is why it's called compound. So 1 and 2 and 3 and. And it could be in 2, in 3, in 4. So you count that 1 and 1, 2, 3 or 4 times. For example, in 9/8 we have 3 times this number and number and number and. In 3/4, this is the equivalent in simple time. We have 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay? So, in the compound time, 1 and 2 and 3 and. In simple, 1 and 2 and 3 and. You have a box on the top of this page that you can't see now, but if you have your book in front of you, you could see it. It says, remember, with an exclamation mark, that one crotchet becomes a dotted crotchet. And why? Because we need 3 items, 3 sub-items to make one count, okay? The triplet in the compound time fits perfectly. But in the simple time, it has to be a triplet because the notes don't fit. To fit, we need 2 quavers. If we have 3, we need a triplet sign. Because they don't match, then there is 1 extra quaver that doesn't add up. And vice versa. So, in the compound time, we would have this bar written as a dotted crotchet, a simple group of 3 quavers, and a dotted crotchet. And here it is, exactly correctly written. So, correct. Now, let's not look at the answer here. In 4/4, because we are in 4/4, we expect the new time signature to be 4 movements, so 4 counts, in 8th or 16th. So we would have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and quavers. That makes it, if you count them, 12. Okay, 3, 6, 9, 12. So 12 quavers grouped in 3. So 12 eighths, and this is it. Now the minim becomes a dotted minim. Why? Because the minim would be 2 crotchets, and in compound time is 2 dotted crotchets. And here we don't have it, so it's already wrong. The triplet would be just 3 simple quavers, and the crotchet will become the dotted crotchet. So here there are 2 items that are wrong. So, sorry, no. Let's now look at this. In 2/4, the equivalent in compound time would be 2 movements, not subdivided in crotchets, but in quavers and grouped in 3. So instead of 1 and 2 and, we have 1 and 2 and. So we have 2 groups of 3 quavers. So 6 eighths. Let's find out. Yes, that is correct. Now, we can see that this is incorrect because 1 quaver can't become a dotted crotchet. So this is incorrect. This is obviously incorrect. How would we write this? Well, this has to become a duplet, and this as well has to become a duplet. And this is simply something that we can't find very often in pieces. When a composer writes something in compound time, they think in compound time. So it is very rare that you need this combination of things. It could be, but it would be a duplet. Okay, 4/4, we said that here. It becomes 12 eighths. And this is correct because it means 4 movement where we fit in 12 quavers. Now, in a simple time, 2 quavers fit perfectly within a movement because we have 1 and. So everything, da, equals a quaver. However, in compound time, this is not possible because we need to fill 1 and. And 2 quavers would not make the third. So we need an irregular amount of notes into a regular, so that we need a duplet. This is just to say, please lengthen a little bit more each quaver, because otherwise it won't add up correctly. And I hope this is correct. Let me know. If you think 3, 1 and here is 1 and, you can see that 2 quavers can't fill up the glass, if we want to call it that way. Can't fill up. It's just that the glass is half empty or half full, depending on what you want to see. But we need it to be filled up to the top. It has to be like that. It can't be incomplete. There is some rules are very strict occasionally in music, and well, quite often. And we simply can't have a movement incomplete unless there is a specific situation like the anacrusic start of a piece or the ending to compensate the anacrusis. So an incomplete bar, that could be just the first bar of the piece, as to start in an upbeat. So the crotchet becomes a dotted crotchet, so this is still correct. The triplet becomes a simple thing, so just delete this when you want to see the right way of transposing, basically, rewriting a compound, a triplet in compound time. You just delete the bracket and the 3, and so this is it. But the 2 quavers must have again the duplet, so this is correctly rewritten. the duplet sign. 3/4 becomes, so 3 is the number of movements. So 3 movements, not subdivided in 2 because we don't think in crotchet, but we think in quavers. So we have 3 movements with 3 quavers each. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 9/8. Okay, and this is it. Now, it could be also 9/16. Okay, this is also compound time, but the book doesn't go there for the moment. So let's just consider 9/8. So thinking quaver. The crotchet becomes a dotted crotchet, and here it is. The triplet, we just delete the sign, and this is it. And the crotchet becomes a dotted crotchet. So this is also correct. The challenge here asks us to rewrite correctly these 2 bars. So let's do it. Flat, 12/8. Now these 2 crochets become the dotted minim. A triplet would just delete the symbol. We leave them as they are. And the crotchet becomes a dotted crochet. There you go. That's it. Now the second example, incorrect example, is in bass clef. So 2/4 becomes 6/8. And we have just the same thing but with duplets. Signs. Here it is. Okay, we can move on to exercise 2. In exercise 2, we need to tick the bar that shows the correct version of the given bar in simple time. So it's the opposite of that one, but we have multiple choices. Again, let's think in quavers here. 1, 2, 3, that's one movement. 1, 2, 3, another movement, and 1, 2, 3, another movement. So these 3 become a triplet. These 3 items, okay, 2 quavers here and 1 here become a, and 1 here become another triplet, and this becomes a simple crotchet. So where do we have triplet, triplet, and simple crotchet? We don't have it here, we have it here, we don't have it here. So this is the correct answer. If you want to do it, you can always like circle the movement. Okay, so you see them. I just visualize them. But it's always possible to do it. Second example, 12/8. Okay, first of all, let's reflect on the time signature. We have 4 movements of 3 quavers each. So we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We need 4/4 basically. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We have 3 options with 4/4. So 3 quavers become triplets. So we need to exclude this and this because we don't have the triplet sign. But here we have them. And then the minim, the dotted minim, becomes a simple minim. So here the answer. Easy. I would say, guys, don't rush into the answers. Reflect on the time signature because it's all in there. It is really irrelevant to answer the questions fast if you jump into conclusions too quickly and if you miss the steps. That's my recommendation for all of the book, for any of the exam questions and so forth and everything in school. that you do. So don't jump into conclusion. Step by step, think, okay? Think of the practicality of theory, because it's all about that. It has to be practically possible. Otherwise, it makes no sense. And honestly, guys, in theory, everything makes sense. It's like maths. If it doesn't, it wouldn't be there. Okay. 9/8. It means 3 movement of 3 quavers each. So 1 and, 2 and, 3 and. Now, and become always a triplet. So we need to see 1 triplet, 2 triplets, and 1 simple crochet. We have 2 triplet signs here, but a minim doesn't add up. Also, this is in 4/4. We need 3 movements. So no thank you. We have 2 triplets and 1 crochet, correct. And here we have only 1 triplet sign, so incorrect. And we have a quaver, it doesn't really add up. So this is the final and correct answer. In the last example, we have 2 movements of 3 crochets each. So 1 and, 2 and. Okay, they are irregular. So this means that we need to see something with no duplet sign, but with a triplet sign. And here it is, look. Yes, triplet, no duplet. This is it. Here, the duplet is not correct. And also, they changed also the values, and we can't change the value. So this is not in 2, but it's in 4. And this should have been 2 halves. Never mind. This is our correct answer. And we can quickly move on to the third exercise. And if you have any questions, please don't forget that you can always leave a comment. I always read them and reply. Thank you. This third exercise relates to the irregular time signatures. And they call them irregular because they have an odd number of movements. So we need to have an odd number on the top of the fraction. For example, 5/8, 7/8, 5/4, 7/4. How do we do this? Very quickly, because when we have the bottom number, we know that we need to look for crochets. So this whole thing can be translated into this. How many crochets do you see? Can you count in this bar? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Visualize. When I was a student, guys, I didn't really count much, and I've been told off for that. I shouldn't say this, but in this way, I learned how to visualize things very quickly. So I see a group of things that make sense, and I simplify them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we need to go through the whole thing? 1 quaver, 2 semiquavers equals 1 quaver, 2 quavers equals 1 crochet. Yes, you can do it, but they are grouped together already. So don't ask yourself too many things. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This helps also sight reading. So 5 crochets. This is the answer. Yes, sight reading is going to benefit from this kind of way of seeing the items in scores. We can see that this is irregular because this makes us think of a compound time, but then we have this. So of course we are in an irregular amount of time beats. So let's go straight to the point. How many quavers can we count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. So 7/8. Let's go quickly on to the next 2. How many crochets can you count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 eighths. And I'll go through that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's it. How many quavers can we count? I start from here. Because this is too I can't remember how many quavers. I'm confused. Well, I start from the quaver. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 5 eighths. Okay, so I'll go through that again. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. In this last 4 examples, we need to figure out the bottom note. So we need to visualize and separate them. 2 quavers beamed together makes me think of a simple time. This could be also simple time. This could be simple, simple, simple. So I think it is a simple time. The subdivisions are 2 in each movement. So let's count in crotchets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can always write them here on the top if you want to count. If you don't want to miss anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 fourths. Why can't we count in quavers? Because guys, it would be like 14 quavers. 14 eighths, it doesn't exist. So exclude the other possible answers as well. That will make you understand even more what we're talking about. Okay, I think that here we must think in quavers because we have an odd number. 1, 2.5 crotchets. So this is impossible. We need to think in quavers. So how many quavers do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 quavers. In the next one, we could think in quavers, but not in crotchets because we will be a spare half. 1, 2, 3.5. So not possible. We're thinking quavers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. I can count 1 and 1 here because this is 1.5 and this is the other half. So we don't need to write specifically here, think specifically, but we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 eighths. And the last one, do we think in quavers or crotchets? Well, I think here in crotchets, and again, I just visualize. I don't think too much. I just visualize. I have groups of 2 things that makes up a crotchet each time. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 crotchets. You can try to count in quavers, but it wouldn't really work because 10 eighths doesn't exist. So it's 5 fourths. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. Finished. Exercise 4. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if not. And let's move on. This page where we have exercise 4 and 5 is about grouping, and I know that grouping is a painful thing for the students. Again, the solution is to think of the subdivisions. Do we have 2 or 3 subdivisions? So is it simple or compound time? That's the thing. This is a compound time, is in quavers. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. This kind of piece shows us the different ways of combining, grouping the notes. 7 could be 4 plus 3, 3 plus 7, 7 could be 4 plus 3, 3 plus 4, or 2 plus 2 plus 3, or 3 plus 2 plus 2. Now, what is the difference? The composer chooses how to organize the grouping because it depends on the phrasing, okay? So it is a pure choice, and sometimes each bar has a different choice. For example, I did say this already in one of my other videos. If you listen or play the Sonatina by Dutilleux for flute and piano, the composer groups the quavers differently in each bar, and sometimes they don't even coincide. The piano and the flute parts don't coincide. So one is 4 plus 3, the other one is 3 plus 4. And this is a pure choice. Now, let's answer the questions. Each bar contains 7 crotchets. Yes, because they say it here, 7 crotchets in a bar. Yes, true. Bar 1 and 3 are divided into 3 plus 4. So 3 plus 4, 3 plus 4. Yes. Every bar is divided into the same group of beats. That is incorrect because these are 3 plus 4, but this is 4 plus 3. So, no thank you. Done. Very quickly. Exercise 5. We need to add the bar lines in a correct way. So, we need to count. After 5 crotchets, bar line. Again, visualize and group with your eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why do I also count the last bar? Because it could be that I was wrong somewhere else here, and I just want to double check. Actually, if I were a student, I would go backwards also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so forth, okay? Just to make sure. Do you know, guys, it is very rare that when we do something, we know everything. Unless we do something very easy, not suitable for our level or age. And your ability is to find out how to do things that you're not sure about, or that you don't know very well, or that you don't remember, or that you don't know at all. Please do not give up. Try to use, and this is, I always say this to my students, use what you know to find out what you don't know or that you are unsure about. 7/8 means 7 quavers. So we count 7 quavers and bar line. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's all correct. I would just move on to the next one very quickly because that was straightforward. What I have to say here, I've said that here already. 7 crotchets and then bar line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I repeat this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the dot and the quaver, 7, the 2 quavers. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't remember this, I think. This is a minim rest, okay? Because the one that hangs on the 4th line is the whole bar rest or semi-breve rest. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now let's assume that I don't know it. I go backwards and I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is a group of 3 into the space of 2. So that equals 2 quavers, 2 crotchets. So for example, let's assume that I don't know this. How do I do it? Well, I just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I know by counting to 14, I know that these are 2 bars. So I can exclude the 4/4 rest, if it makes sense. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, this is it. After 5 quavers, bar line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're confused here, just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the dot and the semiquaver go together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Also, this is a tie, and this confirms that we are right, because 1 quaver and 1 semiquaver tied together means they are between 1 bar line, because this could have been written simply as a dotted quaver, but we can't because it's across 2 bars. So this tells us that we are right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And just to double check, I go through the last bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Honestly, guys, here we just need to be able to count, to count to 5 and 7. Let's go on. 5 crotchets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, there is a tie here. Don't get confused by these 2 arcs. One is a tie, one is a slur, and this is a tie, and this demonstrates that we are across 2 bars, because 1 crotchet tied to a quaver could be written as a dotted crotchet. But when we can't do it, when it's across 2 bars or across the half of the bar, but that's another story in some cases. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. As you can see, I'm grouping the dot and the quaver, the 2 halves together. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Done. And the last one, 7 quavers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is equals to 2 crotchets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, I count from the end. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1. Okay, I simplify. I even simplify it further. Why not? Just double check. 3 quavers are in the space of 2 because there is a triplet. So 2 quavers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 quavers, and 1, 3, 6, 7. And this is very quickly finished. This chapter is quite straightforward if you think in the way I'm thinking. I'm just counting to 5 and counting to 7. That's all. I hope I made it easier for you. Let's move on now. This exercise 6 talks about grouping And again, I confirm that this is a painful topic for most of the students. I hope that I will sort out things for you today. In 4/4, again, let's analyze. We have 4 movements with 2 subdivisions each. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now we need to see this. 1 and 2 and one side, 3 and 4 and the other side. So 1 and that is a crotchet. Where is the other crotchet here? We've lost it. I don't understand what's going on here. We have the last crotchet here, and we have, I don't really, it's hard to understand, but the values add up correctly, but they're not grouped. In fact, I can't see the middle of the bar, because in 4/4 we need to see 1, 2 and 3, 4, okay? And I can't see it, they are all mixed together. 1 1/2, another half is here. So they should have been written as a quaver, so as a quaver and a semiquaver, dotted quaver and semiquaver grouped together. Oh my God, I can't write properly. Okay, that way. And this one is a syncopation done this way. In this way we can see 1, 2, 1 and 2 and, separation 3 and 4 and. So this is incorrect. I see 4 groups of things here. We're very likely to be correct. And honestly, guys, this is the same bar as before, but correctly grouped, as you can see. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So correct. Well, my bad. We didn't really have to say which one is incorrect and which one is correct. It's the same bar as usual. I'm so sorry, guys. 9/8, we need to see 3 groups of 3 quavers. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Where is the middle of the bar? There isn't. It's just 1, 2 and 3 groups of things. I see 4 groups here. Goodbye. I see something here. I don't know, but I see 3 groups here. So I'll just start with this one. 1, 2, 3 quavers. 1, 2, 3 quavers. A tie that tells us that we are across 2 things, and 1 and 2 and 3 quavers. So I think this is the correct one. Let's exclude the other ones. I've already told you that this has 4 things, so it doesn't fit the movement here. And this has, oh my God, 1, 2, 3. So this is across two movements. So we can't have that. So the first one. 6/4 is a compound time. 6 crotchets divided in 2 groups of 3. So we need to see 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3. I think this is the one, because we have 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3, and this is a compound time, so I would go for this one. The only difference here is that they can be grouped together or not, and they have to be together because we are not across anything here. It's just 1, 2, 3. So this is the one. It's just 1 and. Okay, we are in this situation here. 1 and 2 and. So this one. Okay, exercise 7 is about rests. We need to say if it's correct or not, if the rest has been added correctly or not. And again, it's about grouping. So sometimes we are confused about the grouping. So we add the right amount of rest, but it's the value is incorrect because it's grouped incorrectly. So let's see. Again, we start from the time signature is all in there. 6 quavers in a bar grouped in 2 groups of 3 quavers. So 2 sets of 3, 1 and 2 and. And we need to see the middle of this. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 and 3. Yes, this is correct. Because the quaver is made up of 2 semiquavers. So that is correct. This could have been beamed together and the beaming could go across the rest, but it's a choice of the editor. So it is not a mistake, it's just a pure choice. A duplet makes up 3 quavers. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes, and again, these 2 could be beamed together with a beam across the rest, but it doesn't matter. It's a choice. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's incorrect because we need to have 2 quavers here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yes, but do we see the subdivisions? No, so that is incorrect. Here we will need to have 2 quaver rests because we need to see the subdivisions. We need to be able to visualize the counting in compound time. Okay? 3 halves means 3 minims in a bar. So do we have 3 minims here? Potentially yes, 1, 2, but why not to use a minim rest? Why do we need 2 crochet rests here? Do we need to subdivide it? No, it's 1 minim rest, so incorrect. 1, 2, 3. Yes. 2 crochets, 2 crochets, 2 crochets. 1, 2, 3, and this is incorrect because this is 2 groups of 3 and it is not the subdivision of 3 halves is a simple time. So here we would have had a crochet rest and a minim rest. So 1, 2 and 3. So that's incorrect. I hope this is clear. Unfortunately, we don't have so many exercises of this kind, but listen carefully to what I say because really I tell you everything you need to know. So I go through this again. This is 1, 2 and 3. We can't have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That makes 6 crochets because we need to see 3 minims here, not 6 crochets. I hope this is clear. 3/8 is a 3 quavers in a bar. So 1, 2 and 3. Now, yes, this is correct. That's the only possible answer. It's a demi-semiquaver. So yes. 1, 2, and this is not correct because we need, so we have 1 quaver, 2 quavers, a semiquaver, and we would just need another semiquaver here. So that's incorrect. Something is missing. Another demi-semiquaver is missing. 1, 2, 3. Easy? Yes. Why? Because this is a compound time and we need to see the 3 movements. So I can't write a crochet rest. It's the same of this and it's the same of this as well. Or this. Okay? We have a very quick challenge here. They want us to show the subdivisions, basically. Is it 2 plus 3 or 3 plus 2? Well, this is 3 plus 2. This is 3 plus 2. This is 3 plus 2. So 3 and 3. And why do we say that? Well, they are grouped like that. So it's a very quick answer. And again, this is a composer's choice. Okay, let's move on to exercise 8. Exercise 8 asks us to write the number of the beats and then complete the time signature. We have 1, 2, 3 and 4, this whole thing. So do you see the way I counted? I went straight to the easy things, and then the remainder is the same count. Must be the same beat. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Let's do it here too. 1, 2 and 3. So we need to group them in crotchets. So 1, 2 and 3. Because 5 of them equals 4 of them. And 4 demisemiquavers, a quadruplet, and 4 semiquavers equals a crotchet. So 1, 2 and 3. 3/4. 1, 2 and 3. This is in minims. So 1, 2 and 3, the same. 5 of them is 4 of them. And 4 quavers equals 1 minim. So 3 halves. 1, 2 and 3. This is in quavers. So 1, 2 and 3. I don't even have to count. 5 demisemiquavers equals 4 demisemiquavers, and 4 demisemiquavers equals 2 semiquavers, and 2 semiquavers equals 1 quaver. I go step by step. So 4 of them equals 2 of the above value, and 2 equals 1. So 1, 2 and 3. 3/8. 1, 2, 3. We need to count in crotchets here. 1 and 2. Do I count? I could, yes. Just to check, 6 of them equals 4, and 4 is another quaver. We've done it here. So this is 1 and this is 2. 2/4. I could count, but I can see something grouped together. So what could it be? If we must think in crotchets, this could be only a quaver. Otherwise, this is incorrect. And we trust that this is correct because we only need to write the time signature. We already know that these bars are correct and correctly grouped as well. We need to count in minims. So we have 1, 2, 3 minims. And then we have the 4th one here, surely. 5 quavers equals 4 quavers. The quintuplet equals 4 quavers. And 4 quavers equals 1 minim. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 halves. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And this is done. Exercise number 9. In exercise number 9, we need to add the bar lines. So as before, 3 crotchets and a bar line. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Do I need to count? Not really, because the things are already grouped in a nice way. If you don't visualize things, you can't be quick at sight reading. So get used to this. Less thinking and a little bit more direct. Why do we need to count this? This is one movement. It's already grouped. This is also one movement. Otherwise, it would be beamed with something else. So we count one count. 1, 2 and 3. The B example, again, 3 crotchets. 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. If you're not sure, you can always go backwards, okay, and solve the issue. 1, 2, 3, that's easy. Therefore, 1, 2, 3. You can always count if you want to be really thorough, if you want to be logical, but 6 semiquavers equals 4 semiquavers. So 4 semiquavers equals 1 crotchet. So that's the way you could do it. 5 equals 4 as well. So just see the grouping. 3 quavers and then bar line. 1, 2, and 3. Do I need to count? No. If you want to count, 6 demisemiquavers equals 4 demisemiquavers. 4 demisemiquavers equals 2 semiquavers. So 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Grouped together, you see? Grouped together. Grouped together. So here's the other one. Anyway, 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Honestly, guys, if you see it now, do you see that we have 1 bar, 1 bar, 1 bar, 3 very complicated bars, but they are beamed all together, so it's easier. Visualize things, visualize them. It will help, again, your sight reading dramatically. 4 minims, 1, 2, 3, 4. Why? Because these 5 equals 4 and 4 crotchets equals 2 minims. So here 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. If you're not sure here, go backwards. Okay, so for example, I am not sure about this sextuplet and I have no idea how to be sure. I go backwards. 1, 2, 3 and 4. This should be. Okay, simplify, simplify, simplify. In the last one is 2 halves. So we need to have 2 minims. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. That's it. 3 minims equals 2 minims. So that already fills up a bar. 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Done. Next one. In 5/4, there are X number of crotchet bits in a bar. 5. 4 is the crotchet beat because the crotchet is 1/4. 1 crotchet equals 1/4. Is the 4th is 1 part of 4. So as I say to my students, I have a pizza or a pie if you want, and we cut it in 4 slices, and I eat just 1. 7/8. In 7/8 there are 7 quaver beats in a bar. Why? Because 1/8 is the length of a quaver. Therefore, if we have a pizza, we need to cut it into 4 slices. And of these 4, the quaver has just 1 slice. (12/16). Now 16ths is the length of a semiquaver. So there are X number of dotted quavers. Now the semiquaver is 1/16, and when we have it here, it means that we have 3 subdivisions of 3 semiquavers. Therefore, every subdivision is every movement is 1 dotted quaver. And we have 4. How many? 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That makes it 12. So 4 groups of dotted quavers. So 1/16, it's divided in, that's 12/8, 12/16 is this. okay, and each of them is a dotted quaver. So 4. 6/8, how many crotchet beats? It's the same as before. 6/8 is 2 group of 3 quavers, and each of them is a dotted crotchet, so 2 dotted crochet beats. And 3/2, how many minims? 3, because halves is a minim. Why? Because the fraction of the minim is 2/4, and if you simplify it, is 1/2. Therefore, we have 3 halves, 3 minims. That's all. Is it easy this way? You need to substitute the numbers with the musical meaning of that and combine music and maths all together. Okay, it's all very connected. Shall we move on to the last exercise of this chapter? We need to circle the correct time signature. Okay, first of all, see the grouping of things. Here we have 3 semiquavers as a triplet, so they equals 2 semiquavers. Then we have we have 1 quaver, 1 quaver, 1 quaver, and 2 quavers. So 1 quaver, 1 quaver, 1 quaver, and 2 quavers. So I think that this is in 5 quavers, 5/8, because if we group them in crotchets, we have 2.5, so we must exclude it. 3 or 4. Neither of them are correct, because 3 is just 2.5 and 4 is 2.5, so it's impossible. It's 5/8. I suppose this is in 16th, because a dotted quaver without a semiquaver, okay, doesn't make any sense. And this just can't be unless it's a compound time in 16th. So I think the answer is this. But anyway, let's see. We have 1 semiquaver, 2 semiquavers, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's it. Honestly, I just looked at this and thought, it can't be. A semiquaver, a quaver in simple time must have a semiquaver afterwards. In 6/8, it doesn't make any sense as well, because it just doesn't. The only way you can make it 3 is to think in semiquavers. So the only solution is this. And if you want to count, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think this is in simple time, because I can see 1 quave, 1 crotchet, another crotchet here. As you can see here, we have the other half, okay, that we didn't have here. And 6 of them, I assume that makes it 1. So let's see, 1, 2, and 3. And I have 3/4. Why can't it be 6/8? Because there is the third subdivision here that is missing. 12, it doesn't make any sense, because 12 is divided in the subdivision is in 3. So 1, 2, and 3, where's the third? It can't be in the middle of this 6 triplet. So 3/4. This is in compound time, and this duplet tells us. Because if it was in simple time, 2 quavers just make a movement. So it can't be anything other than in compound time. So I can exclude 3/4, okay? And let's have a look. I have 2 in the space of 3. So we have 3 quavers, and then we have 1, 2, and 3 quavers. So it's 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We can't have 5/8. 5/8 would be without that, but there is a duplet, so it means there is a regular. We need to extend the length of the quavers in a way that it's a quaver and something. A quaver and something. And if we put a dot, it's too much. It's not a quaver and a half. It's a quaver and something. Let's visualize this. I have a crotchet, then I have another crotchet, another quaver here that I don't know where to locate, where to group it. I have basically 4 semiquavers here, 1, 2, and 3 and 4. So it doesn't make any sense unless we consider the 7/8. So let's count in quavers. This makes me ring a bell. This is too complicated. I don't even consider it. A crotchet alone and a quaver, basically 3 quavers grouped together, it makes me think of an irregular time. So let's make it proved. 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. These are 2 semiquavers equals 1 quaver, and this is another quaver. 2, 4, 6, 7. Here it is. This could be 3 groups of minims. You can tell me how do you know it so quickly? Because I visualize it. I see the groups. I try to see the combinations. Could it be in crotchets? Yeah, it could be. Could be. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, these are 4 quavers, which is one minim, therefore 2 crotchets. Okay, this is an interesting one, a very interesting one. And listen carefully to what I say. A quintuplet, so 5 quavers equals 4 quavers, so 2 crotchets. This is 1 crotchet, this is another crotchet, and this is another crotchet, 2 crotchets. Now, we have 6 crotchets here. Definitely we can exclude 9/8, but we have basically the same. We could be in 6/4 or in 3/2. Well, this tie tells us that we are in 3/2 because it means that here there is a movement. We are across 2 movements, and this is why we can't have a dotted minim, because the dotted minim would make us in 6/4, but it isn't. So this is why we have 3 groups of things instead of 2 groups of dotted minims. Therefore the half of the bar would be here. But if the half of the bar would be here, why not to put a dot on the minim? Does it make sense? I hope so. 3/2. I rub it out because it could be confusing if you just turn the video on at this point. I see a compound time here. Why? We have this duplet. Therefore, we must be in compound time. And it's quite a long one. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We are in 9/8. We can't be in 4/2. Why? So let's divide it in, let's simplify it. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then we have 2 in the space of 3. So it's a compound time because we have this duplet. That means compound. And why can we not be in 4/2? Because 4/2 are 4 minims, and these are 4 minims and a half. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Plus, if we count 4 minims, we separate these two across the beat. So there are too many mistakes if we do that. So it's in 9/4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and we see exactly the 3 movements. 1 and, 1 and, 1 and. And it doesn't matter if we count in crotchets, if we count in minims, or if we count in quavers or semiquavers. What is important is that you visualize and you count, you feel the beat, really, the sub beats, da, 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 or da, 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 da. Simple and compound. And I hope that this was useful. My final suggestion is to always think of everything here as a musical thing. Somebody would need to play any of these bars, anything that is in this book. And how would you play it? It must make sense. Otherwise, you really make the player uncomfortable because it doesn't feel right. And this is how you need to approach to theory. Think of the practical realization of what you have. I hope that this makes sense. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video. Bye! I hope this video was helpful. I just want to thank all the ones who messaged me and emailed me. It has been great to be in touch with you, honestly. And if you have anything to say, leave me a comment. I always read them and I always reply. Now, if you want to revise other chapters of Discovering Music Theory Grade 5, click there and find other tutorials. And don't forget, tell your friends about it. If it was helpful for you, it will be helpful for other people. Happy watching! I'll see you in my next video. Bye!